My next guest is a Mozart singer of the first order that has graced the leading opera houses of the world. Her Broadway debut was with Rex Harrison in the 25th anniversary revival of My Fair Lady. Winner of the Young California Artist Award, the Californian Mozart Competition, as well as honors in the San Francisco Opera Awards, New York NATS First Prize, and the Liederkranz Competition in New York. This is Ashton Marcus, and I'm with Jeralyn Glass. You're currently teaching at Chapman University, correct?
Yes, I'm a professor of singing, and I teach singing for actors, singing for dancers, musical theater, and a voice class and private lessons.
Okay, I believe you have a recital coming up soon.
Yes, on February 6th at 7:30 p.m. in Salmon Hall. It's a faculty recital that I'm very much looking forward to. I'm going to do, it's a little different kind of program, not a traditional program. My pianist is here from Germany, and then we have 3 musicians that we've played often with here. So the second half of the program will be more standards and jazz numbers with a small jazz ensemble, and the first half is traditional classical.
Jazz and classical?
Uh-huh.
So do you have a jazz background or a classical background?
Kind of both. My teacher was actually here tonight. She's 92 years old, and her husband was the great Paul Smith, who was jazz pianist, played for Ella Fitzgerald, Sammy Davis, Frank Sinatra, and I came to her when I was 11 years old, and she always said to me, I want you to learn how to sing naturally and healthily, but I want you to sing both classical music and popular music so that you learn to appreciate and how to manage in both styles. So...
Yeah, I hear there's always a controversy behind it. Some, like Gershwin himself, I believe, they always asked him whether he was jazz or classical.
This is very true, and there came a point in his life where he had enough of the musical comedy, and he really wanted to be known as a serious composer, but because he never finished school and his training was sporadic, he did have piano lessons, theory, harmony lessons, but he never felt super secure that he could compete with the Ravels and the Stravinskys of this world, but man, he sure did. And there's one story of him meeting Franz Lehar and Alban Berg, who was Lehar's pupil, and they played a string quartet, and then Gershwin was to play his pieces, and he was like, no. And they were like, no, go on, play. And afterwards, Berg said to him, incredible, and George, music is music. Great music is great music, so...
Oh, great. Okay, and also I believe you're involved in a charity too?
Yes, I created a children's foundation in Germany called Kids for Kids World Foundation, and the intention was to have 2 healing circles of music that we support and develop young talents, and then the money that we raise from the performances goes to music therapy for battered children, ill children, and it's been very successful for 9 years. Actually, my colleague Dale Merrill, the Dean of the College of Performing Arts, he's been coming the last couple of years and doing some directing and choreography for us, and the kids really loved it, loved working with a great American choreographer, and we're going to start it here. We're going to start a branch of it here now in California.
Oh. And so you started very early when you were young. Do you think it really mattered a lot to start early?
I do. I mean, I knew when I was little that I wanted to sing, and I had a solo in the 6th grade. It was The Emperor, the King's New Clothes by Frank Lesser that Danny Kaye had made famous, and it wasn't really singing, it was sing-talking, but it was a big hit at my school, and then people said to my mom, well, she has some talent, you should, do something about that. So she took me to Annette Smith, the woman I told you about when I was 11, and she said, well, yes, I'll take you. I've never taken anyone that young, and I started with a half an hour a week, and it soon moved to an hour, and yeah, I mean, and now in today's world, kids are starting private lessons younger and younger. You have to be careful with the voice because the vocal cords are young and not developed, but you can bring them joy for music and self-expression. That's very important for a young person.
Okay, well, again, you're involved in so many children and all that, and you are a teacher. So what kind of advice can you give to parents who have children who are very exceptional?
Oh, get them the best training you can get them.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you for being on the show.
You're welcome.
Okay, and you are?
Dale Merrill, and I'm the dean here of the College of Performing Arts here at Chapman University, and then I'm a dance professor when focus on musical theater dance styles.
Okay, and what's the music department at Chapman like?
The music department here at Chapman is very classical oriented, so the musical theater part of our program actually comes from the theater department. So we have music, theater, and dance here at this school. Yeah.
And I believe there's a recital going on. What can the viewers expect to see at the recital?
I think this upcoming recital that Jeralyn is doing, Jeralyn is our William Hall visiting professor, so we're very proud of that. And the professorship, we use this professorship to bring different styles of music in, and since Jeralyn has this really eclectic style of jazz, standards, musical theater, and incredibly classically trained as well, it's a nice mixture, and I like to show that to the students that you need to be really eclectic, and especially if, all these kids here in our program, they all want to get jobs, and so you have to be able to do everything. You have to be able to, sing in an opera one night and go sing in a nightclub one night and maybe sing in, Wicked one night, and so you have to be able to do it all, and I think that Jeralyn is a great example of that, and the program that she's put together, I think, really demonstrates that.
Okay, well, again, you are a teacher also. What kind of advice would you give to students out there?
I think to try everything. Find a teacher that's going to be open-minded and show you the many roads. Okay, there's so much. The arts are so plentiful. There's so much to do, but you have to be open-minded to try just about anything. And you try one thing on, and you see what that feels like, and if it fits you, and then if it doesn't, then you try another experience. But every one of those experiences that a parent takes their child to, that child will grow from that. So the more they do, the better. Especially when they're younger, they should be in dance class and music class and drama camp, and they should be doing everything. And then when they get older, like in high school, then maybe they might focus, narrow that down a little bit.
Okay, one more question. Okay, we seem to have this theme about jazz versus classical. Is your music school different from, say, Juilliard, which would be jazz, or Berkeley, which would be classical?
Opposite.
Berkeley is classical, Juilliard is jazz?
No, opposite. Juilliard is classical.
Serious, because I went there. Juilliard is serious classical, and Berkeley is jazz.
Yes, that's correct.
Yes.
I thought that's what I said.
No.
Yeah. Every school has to find its niche and what it can do, and your niche in academia, unfortunately, is determined by the resources that you have. So we don't really have a jazz program here or a musical theater program, which just breaks my heart because I love jazz music and I love musical theater, but we just don't have the resources to do that, to sustain that on a regular basis. We have a small jazz ensemble. They're top-notch, but it's pretty small. But the basis of music and music theory is the same, regardless of if you're doing very avant-garde music or if you're doing classical music or jazz music. The underpinnings of music theory is really the same, and it's a style, right? And my opera friends will kill me, but it's a style of music. Jazz is a style of music. Contemporary is a style of music. It's just an aesthetic choice. The underpinnings are all the same. So what we teach the kids here gives them the basics that they can go out and do whatever style they choose once they leave Chapman. So some of them do go on to Juilliard to study in the classical program, and some of them do go up to Berkeley or rock and roll schools and whatnot, which we're really excited about.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
Okay. And you are?
Nicole Cafaro.
Oh, and what do you do around here?
I am a student here. I'm a senior, and I'm a theater performance major and a music minor.
Oh, great. So what do you like about Chapman?
Oh, I love Chapman. Attending Chapman has been a fantastic experience for me, especially because I feel that I've gotten the best of both worlds in the theater department and the music department as a theater major and music minor. Our theater department is fantastic. The technique that they provide is kind kind of like what Dale was saying, we get the opportunity to explore so many different types of theater, so many different styles of theater. And the theater department's very open-minded to that. So I've taken classes in Shakespeare and in screen acting for film and in Suzuki movement, which is the Japanese style of movement. And every style you could imagine, we get the opportunity to explore, which is great. And then in the music department, I have sort of had the freedom to choose what I've wanted to sing in my voice lessons. I have grown up studying classical music as a way to support my technique, and then doing musical theater because that's what I love. So that's something that I would like to continue doing, and I feel that I have sort of managed to put together on my own here at Chapman, since we don't have a musical theater program.
Actually, a lot of musicians don't have to go to college. They can just start being musicians.
Oh, I don't know about that. I think that's definitely possible, and that's not to say that musicians that don't attend college aren't talented and wonderful, but I just think receiving the training and just the dedication and the practice and the structure that college provides as far as music is really important.
So do you have any friends who actually went straight into music?
Oh, gosh. Looking back, I do have a few, but I would say that they're more in the pop genre. I wouldn't say that they went into classical music at all. Maybe a couple that went into musical theater. But out of those people, there aren't that many who have continued to do it. They've found other jobs or other things that they're interested in.
Okay, but again, I've seen some people who actually bypass the college, and they've actually been very successful musicians and all that. And again, for them, I guess it seemed to work for them. Yeah. But you seem to be taking a different route. Do you think, it kind of being the grass is greener in the other road, would you have liked it if you would just bypass college and just became this hip pop star?
Oh gosh, well, I'd never want to be a pop star. I am not sure. I don't know that that's something I really think about. This is the path that I chose to take for my life, and I feel very secure that it was the right choice, and I'm very happy, and I'm looking forward to my future. I feel that there are really great things in store for my life, and I'm not concerned about what could have been. So.
Okay. Well, also, when did you start studying music?
Oh, I started taking voice lessons when I was 10 years old, and have been and I started taking piano when I was 6 years old. So I took piano from the time I was 6 till the time I was 18 and studied all the theory and everything, and then voice from the time I was 10 until now. I'm still taking lessons, so it's a lifelong thing.
Okay. And what's your goal, your end goal? Would you like to be an opera star? Would you like to be, say, on Broadway?
Well, I would say, as of right now, Broadway has always been my dream since I was a child. So I definitely want to pursue that, and the plan after school is to move to New York and pursue it, and then possibly attend grad school after a few years of working in the field. But I don't want to limit myself to that. I would like to explore any possibility, and if opera were something that I could try later on in life, I would be open to it. I think it's beautiful, and it's a different style. And like Dale said, I like exploring different styles, so jazz, musical theater, opera, all those different things. So who knows? I don't know.
All right, well, thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you so much.
Jeralyn Glass will be performing at Chapman University's Salmon Recital Hall on Friday, February 6th. For more information, go to www.chapman.edu/COPA or search for A&B Theater on Tumblr.